Hi there, it's Anna. It's Anna and Daily Insights on Business and Branding, and today we'll cover 4 insights that I had during the day, mostly on business and mostly on developing a brand. So the first thing is there are so many branding experts that are far worse and they sell their services for a lot more than we are, and it's sad. Why is it sad? I'm not sure. That's not sad, that's just a fact that in all the niches there are people who do work that is of lower quality, but they know how to sell their services, they know how to pitch themselves, they know how to present themselves and build strategy correctly. So they are having more orders, they do make more money, they have larger following than your brand is. And product quality is basis, and if you would improve your product or service, like a core thing that you do, you would automatically solve 80% of other problems. You would be able to charge more, clients would want to collaborate with you and would get back to you. Of course, it's important, but it's not everything. If you don't have marketing, if you wouldn't have sales, if you wouldn't have your social media and following, you wouldn't have engagement, you wouldn't have any activity and consistency with your brand, but you would just have good product and that will be it. You will create something and you'll sit with that great product in your room and you'd expect customers to come to your door. That wouldn't happen. So despite the fact that those people that are having the larger fame of all, make the most money, have shitty product pretty often. I observe this in my niche all the time. I see really famous brand designers or products or businesses, and I check their branding, I check their design, and I'm like, I'm getting super disappointed. Why this company of this huge level would make really fresh branding like yesterday with that shitty agency? Could they do poor quality? At first I was upset, but then I understood that in order to become great, to get more money, right, in the niche, you don't have to be better with your product. Like you can be, I wrote a post on my personal blog just today, and if you want to be somebody, you can just be them. Like if you want to have larger following and do the blog, and you think that I'm so sorry, and you think that, oh my god, I'm such an awful YouTuber because I just pushed my phone and I just coughed, I can't speak normally. So if you want to be a blogger and you think that you're fat, don't you think that there are fat bloggers out there? If you want to be really top businessman and you think that you're stupid, don't you think that there are businessmen that have lower IQ than you do? There actually are some people like this. So you just have to take yourself seriously and go out there, go out of your comfort zone and pursue your clients and show you your work and be consistent about showing your work. Because if you'd be consistent about showing it, you would have to do more work, right? To do the thing itself. And if you'd be repeating your thing that you're doing all the time, of course, you will learn how to do this right. It just takes time and you will improve your skills. Maybe not to the greatest level on earth, but you'll be at the pro level one day or another if you'll be working on it consistently. And it doesn't take really any extraordinary input, not great IQ, not great creativity, nothing special. You just have to be consistent about it and sometimes push harder in order to get more than you want. So at first I got disappointed that there are lower quality agencies and they make more money than we do. But then I'm like, it means that we will reach far greater goals and we have far better visions and we will exist for longer years on the market. And it means that we have really larger potential than they do. So it's actually a great thing. That was my post. And the second insight that I have, there are so many people copying other bloggers. I saw many videos today of guys copying Sam Sulek, etc. Or they do name dropping. And it's such a pity, because there are so many people on earth, there are so many minds who can be creative, come up with their own thing. But somehow all most of the internet does is just copying each other, doing trends, repeating other people's songs in their videos, or like literally copying Sam Sulek's videos when guy would go to the training and talk on his way back in the car about his training and his way. I understand that he's talking about his own thing, but this style, I'm like, you're so clearly copying somebody. You want to be like somebody. Why don't you do the thing that you prefer doing, that you find authentic, that are true about you, that would describe you the best? And it's easy. You don't have to be perfect. Like, you can be doing your basic stuff. Actually, like right now, I'm trying to cook some soup at the back of this video, and I'm trying to record this video at the same time. And I hope that you can't hear any of the voices of or the sounds of boiling water. But yeah, I'm just doing my stuff, and I'm recording when I had the motivation and some inspiration and some thoughts. And I think that I haven't seen any branding owners speaking to the camera like that. Maybe they are out there, not sure. I'm not the genius here, but I'm doing the thing that is authentic and that is true about us. And it's easy to do. You just live your life and just show it. And it's like in Eminem's song when he said, I forgot the starting part, but just like me, who cuss like me, dress like me, walk and talk and act like me, and just might be the next best thing, but not quite me. And you can be great. You can start off maybe by some name dropping. You can maybe copy somebody a couple of times, but really find your own thing, find the thing that you're passionate about, and keep doing it. Because if you won't be doing the thing that you're passionate about, you won't be able to do this consistently. In a couple of months, you'll just burn out. You'll be tired of copying somebody else, and that will be the end of your career. You'll give up earlier than you're supposed to. Maybe you would be close to reaching your goal even by copying somebody, but you will burn out too soon. And one more argument to this point, world does not need another Kylie Jenner, another Eminem, another Sam Sulek. Like, world needs its new and authentic people and geniuses and brands. That's why being creative and true to yourself is really important, and it's easy. It's easier than copying somebody because it's not natural. It's never natural. No, it's so hard to speak. Maybe I will take a day off tomorrow and not be doing this daily insights because it's really challenging for me. Now, the next insight would come out of this passion thing that I said to you. It's you are only in a rush because you haven't learned how to love your job. You are in a rush because you want to end something. And this thought was partially inspired by Alex Hermosi, I'll be honest here. He wrote like similar X post about it, and I've been thinking about like this whole day, and I can't get this thought out of my head. When you really enjoy the process, when you really enjoy the thing that you're doing, you wouldn't count minutes and hours. Sometimes I feel like that. Last week I was shooting some social media, and I really took time. I wrote scripts, and scripts were creative. They were a new format of steal this branding idea for and the name of the business. I had to come up with ideas. I took time. And that was early in the morning. That was so inspirational when you would wake up at 4 a.m. and at 4 a.m. and you would be working like your first 4 hours block up to 10 a.m. and you would be really creative. I can't describe that with words. When it's dark outside and you're writing something on the paper and it's getting lighter, like sun rises, and you have nowhere to go. You just have to then sit in front of the camera and record that and be clear with your voice. And you can also like put some makeup on or dress up nicer for these really cute reels. It feels good, and while dressing up I can turn on some music and it puts me in a good and special mood. It felt really awesome. But in some days, truly, when I'm on the clock, when I have to get this project out, I have deadlines, I have team to manage, and sometimes we have really bad problems. Like at the moment we have two problems with two projects. The first project is going too slow. We expected that to last up till 2 weeks, and lasts like 3 weeks, just because of the designer who does not have enough experience of working on it. So sometimes I would have to teach the designer and spend more time on it, and I'm so stressed about it because I do not have the time schedule at all. I would just be, getting the time out of other calls or meetings, and that's stressful. And the next project is really creative and it's going great, but client does not provide some clear feedback, and we are remaking our branding concept for maybe fifth time, just because they are looking good but they are not completely matching with the owner's vision. And the things happen because these are our works and these are our team, and we are separated from our designs, so we're not perceiving that as really a bad grade for ourselves, because we know that we are capable of different styles and new and better designs, and we are constantly producing that. So I think that today we finally approved the concept, but it also took longer than we expected. We expected it to take us a week, and it takes us 2. So I am constantly stressing out about stuff, and when I'm stressed out, when I'm on the deadline, when I'm not just being creative and talking to the camera or making really great sales, sometimes I do stress out a lot about it and I am not enjoying the process. But by looking back at the process, I might say that working at that project was really awesome. I really enjoyed that because we got to talk with a focus group. That was interesting. I got to learn new terms about this new niche with kids. And so I am glad that I have this agency of mine, that I have a team, and that I set up my own rules, my own schedule. It's awesome. I'm trying to enjoy work, and in some days it works. But it's a reminder to myself to enjoy work, just because if I would be hurrying it, just being in a constant rush, I will end things. But would the result be great? Would it be a masterpiece? Or would it be just average result produced by a person who was rushing out to put something out? That's the question. Learn to love the things that you do, or change the things that you do so that you would love them. And the last one is, there are people who care about the business and those who don't. Caring do it because of their deep inside reasons. I got comments on how bad creative people are at business. I used to think that I really care about the result, like the way I'm telling that to you right now. I'm really caring about the design, the process, the level of creativity of our works, and it affects business drastically. Creative people are bad at business. At the moment, I'm not doing the creative work. I'm more of a business person, but I understand from perspective of being creative at past how it works. And sometimes works just don't go on schedule. You plan this creative project to take you a week and it takes you 3 weeks. How do you calculate that? So we would be moving away from this or hourly rate estimates for projects, because it's not the hours that worth money, it's the input and complexity of the project that is worth money. And how much experience do designers have in the team? How many mistakes did they do prior to like avoid them right now automatically? How many projects in this niche they did, so they how great they know the market they are working with. That's the thing that client pays for. And here I was telling that caring people, caring business owners have some deep inside reasons for doing it, and I think it's really powerful. I think it's true. I do not believe that people start businesses to make world a better place. That's not the reason. Those who start businesses, they are sometimes greedy, they are self-centered and motivated out of bad reasons really often. Just because they didn't have money, just because they wanted to be independent, just because they cannot be commanded to do things, just because they get really tired and exhausted of working for somebody and they suffered a lot from it, just because they had, no, there are various reasons. Mine, I think, is for sure making money, because I learned that by not selling my time, I can make more. Like if I would not be the one person working and selling my time, I can have a team of people whose working hours I would be selling. But now I am also deviating from the concept. I do not want to sell my team's working hours, because that's super bad concept, that's super bad scheme. We would be selling only the result, only the knowledge, only my team's mistakes, only my team's experience, only my team's projects, not the time. That's the first reason for this, obviously. And the second reason for me would be trying to be independent and sometimes showing off, showing like my friends, parents, and everybody around that I can be my own boss and I can lead the team, I can be a great leader. It's showing off. I don't know where it comes from. It's super ego based. I understand that and I accept that. And I'm trying to be humble about it. And I'm trying to be honest about it. Not like, I'm not gonna hide it. That's pretty obvious. But that's the reason. And maybe the third reason that is pretty connected to the second is proving something, proving that I can do it. First of all, to myself, because sometimes, some days, I'm like, I can't do this. And the next day, I will be believing in myself. So, in order not to be delusional, I am a little bit. I will try to prove that to myself so that I would be sure that I'm worth something. And also, I think I'm proving it to my parents that the things that I do are serious, that business that I do solves people's problems and makes other people's lives easier, that it's really worth doing, because my parents are a little bit old-fashioned and conservative, so they do not understand the business that I'm in at all. Like they still saying to me that I haven't finished my master's degree and I just have a bachelor's degree, which is, well, it's a whole different conversation. But I'm always, from some childish, infantile reasons, trying to prove something to others, that I can be maybe best out of my classmates from school, or I can be best. I don't know, why do I need that? I'm not best, I'm just different. Why do I need that? That's a really interesting question, but these are the reasons. And since I have these deep reasons inside of me, it would be really expensive for me to fail. Like that would be costly. I know that I always, like in your 20s, you always can find a couch to sleep on. That's true. But failing in business would be super shameful for me. I would be pitiful. That's why I try a lot, and I'm working constantly and consistently and systematically and being organized and disciplined. Just because I know that I have no reason to fail, no chance of failure. That's why I care. That's why maybe it works out better than those who don't care and who have other choices. I'm just betting on this business, going all in on it. So yeah, these are all the insights for today, and I'll see you tomorrow maybe, or in a couple of days. We'll see how it goes. Bye.